Strawberries are one of my favorite things to be growing out in the garden. Everbearing varieties such as these Ozark Beauties or the Quinolts that were growing a few beds back, they start out the season in spring and give us a good harvest, and then they finish out the season in fall by giving us another good harvest. Our June-bearing varieties fill in the gap in between, such as All-Star and Sure Crop, but no matter which variety you grow, at the end of the season, these beds are going to be completely filled because they propagate so vigorously. Most of you are familiar with the way strawberries, they reproduce by sending out these runners and they'll fill up these beds. But what you might not know is they also propagate themselves by clumping around the mother crown. They'll develop little crowns all around this, and it's important if you want a good harvest every year that you need to come in and occasionally thin out these plants at the root. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to divide up your plants at the root. Hello backyard vegetable gardeners, I hope you're having a great day. Welcome to the Backyard Vegetable Gardening Channel, where everyone can learn to grow their own food and experience the joy of living the gardener's lifestyle. One of the most wonderful aspects of growing strawberries is how vigorous they are. Once you learn to grow one plant, you'll have strawberry plants from now on unless something catastrophic happens. But as you can see, I've already started thinning out this bed right here. And if you'll look at this grow bag, it's a little 3-gallon grow bag. I've done filled 4 of these. I've gave away 3 to some children at church, and I've already started filling up some of these Dollar Tree containers right here to give away to some elderly folk. If you're new to gardening, or maybe you've never divided up plants by the roots before, you might be very intimidated by the thought of tearing apart your plants at such a tender spot. But let me just tell you, strawberry plants can take it. They're very resilient little plants. In fact, that's one of the reasons I strongly recommend that these are the type of plants that you start your children off with. Not only are they easy to take care of and they're pretty tough, they give you that wonderful reward all through the season. As far as dividing your plants by the roots goes, there's only 2 things you really got to concern yourself with. The first one is to be careful not to damage these little crowns. You see, here's one of the crowns, and here's the mother's crown right here. So when we're dividing them up, we're going to make sure that we don't damage those crowns. And the second thing is to make sure you preserve as many of the roots as you can. To divide out your strawberry plants, begin by digging them up. Use a gardening hand trowel to cut a ring around the plant. You don't want to try pulling the plants up by hand. Make sure that the ring is large enough to preserve as much of the root ball as possible. Once you have the plant removed from its planting hole, it's time to do a little inspecting. Now you'll need to locate the location of the mother's crown. After that, start locating the crowns of the daughter plant that have clumped around the mother. We begin by dividing the crowns from the outside in. Use your fingers to try to find one that feels like it will be the easiest to remove. Since the crowns have grown together in a clump, you may find that it feels a little like you're tearing the plant. That's normal, and in a way you are. But don't worry, your strawberry plants can handle it. Just be careful not to tear apart the actual crowns and try to preserve as much of the roots as you can. The most important thing is to take care not to hurt the crown of the mother plant, because more than likely that's the one you're expecting to replant later. Strawberry plants are perennials, but they don't live forever. They usually have a lifespan of around 5 years, and they do their best producing during years 2 and 3. That means sometimes when you're dividing them up, you're doing so with the intention of replacing the mother plant with one of the more healthy daughter plants. All that's left now is to replant the mother plant back into the hole that we dug out earlier, or replace it with one of the best looking daughter plants if it's time to do that. And be sure to save as many of those crowns as you can. We've got strawberries growing all over the property. We've got them in beds and in containers and in raised planters. But one of my favorite things to do is to give them away. We've got more strawberries than we know what to do with already. We still plant a little here and there in a spot tucked away somewhere that might be empty, but we love to give them away. And one of the things that I do every year is give these little bags or these little containers, or sometimes I might even build a little planter box and give them away to some of the babies, some of the children at church, some of the elderly folks. It's just a tremendous blessing. Planting the crowns is easy too. Use your fingers to divot out a hole in your pot bag that's deep enough to accommodate the length of the roots and wide enough to receive the plant, and bury it to the lowest part of the crown. Just be careful not to bury the crown or it will rot and the plant will die. Then place the new crown in the hole that you just divvied out. Use your fingers to fill in the remaining space with soil. When the plant is now covered up, use your hands to slightly firm the soil that surrounds the plant. Water it well so that the soil can reposition itself and fill in any air gaps that may be present around the roots. Finish up by adding a light layer of mulch and water that in so the wind don't blow it away. If you're growing several varieties of strawberries or you plan on giving them away, don't forget to label them specifying the variety and year. And if you still want to grow more strawberry plants, you can do so in just a few months when those plants start sending out runners. You'll really be surprised how many plants could be propagated from just one strawberry plant each year. Just pin the crowns that are forming at the end of each runner in good contact with the soil in a cup or in the original bed, and it will make enough roots to support itself in about 2 weeks. So at that time, you can cut it free from the mother plant. Strawberries really are one of my favorite things to be growing in the garden. In fact, I have a strong belief that a garden just really isn't much of a real garden unless you're growing strawberries. And the only reason that I can think of that you might not want to grow strawberries is due to allergies. These plants are so easy to grow and to take care of, and if you can grow one, you can grow a million of them. You'll never have to worry about growing strawberries so long as you learn to take care of a single strawberry plant. Please remember to like and share the video, folks. And if you're not a subscriber and you like gardening and garden-related content, or maybe you're interested in learning how to grow more of your own food, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.